Hi everyone, my name is Micheal Soafer. I'm founder and CEO of Pylons, and I want to talk about digital items, digital ownership, what people are currently calling NFTs, and why I think that this technology is going to be a real democratizing force for the world. So, digital items are pieces of data on distributed ledgers, blockchains, that you can own and that you control and that no one else controls. They're created by some kind of creator, under some set of rules. And then once they're created, they're out there in the world, and whoever controls them can do whatever they want. And it's not really possible to have regulatory rules. It's not really possible to have restrictions on what nationalities of people can own these things. It's not really possible to have restrictions on who can create these things. And so it's much easier with digital items for things like digital art to be truly global than it is for any kind of physical art. If you make an NFT and you put it on Ethereum, you can do that just as easily from Lagos as you can from Los Angeles. And that, I think, is really important. That is, I think, the core thing that's important about digital items. And I've been passionate about digital items and property on the blockchain that's not about money for a long time. Very much for this reason. I think that fashion and art has really been very tightly controlled by galleries and curators and channels of access to consumers. And so that you need to buy into, that you need to work with in order to be visible. And what's really transformational about NFTs is that those things are not as powerful. It's much easier to get around them. It's much easier to create new ones. It's a world where, in the long run, much more power and value is going to go to the creators of art than has in the past. And I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to change everything. I think the ability to create new things from anywhere in the world and get attention and directly get economic value flowing into those things is really new. You don't need to get access to the traditional transportation infrastructure, the traditional payment infrastructure, the traditional customs tools, right? Everything on blockchains is totally international automatically. And that is a huge difference and a very powerful difference that I'm just really excited to see play out. And I think, for emerging markets, it gives creators a chance to leapfrog all of these barriers that have always existed, needing to find an agent, in the city where you want to sell your art. Right, doesn't exist anymore when art is just on the blockchain. It's on some blockchain. You advertise it on Twitter, and that's all you have to do. Suddenly, it doesn't matter whether you sell it in a gallery. It doesn't matter that you don't have a bank account in the country where the buyer is. It really, really flattens the markets for art, for creative properties, and I'm really excited about that. I think that what's happening now is just the beginning of what digital property is going to be. Right now, you're seeing these sort of collectible collections become very expensive. Bored Ape Yacht Club is sort of the obvious one, but there's many others that are sort of just collectible for whatever reason, and people get excited and they buy in, and the price goes up, and it's fun, and that's a really good first thing. It's exciting and interesting, but I think we're going to see stuff that's much more complex in the future, much more interesting. You're starting to see some really cool digital art being sold. You're starting to see things like Axie Infinity, where there's this enormous value being generated in these games. And in fact, people, a lot of people in the Philippines are playing these games on what's called scholarships, where people lend them the game pieces they need, and they play and they generate more game pieces, and they pay, they give it back to the person. So we're seeing these really interesting international economic systems get created. And again, I think this is just the beginning, and we're going to see much more interesting, much more complicated systems than Axie Infinity that are, that really go beyond what's going on now and scratch a lot of new itches. I think, again, this is just the beginning of the kind of complex and amazing things we're going to see. I think we're going to see books on chain. We're going to see the rights, movie rights, and ability to sort of watch a movie by paying on the blockchain for the right to play it once. We're going to see music on chain. We're going to see amazing new stuff. Games. There's going to be so many games, and anyone in the world can make a game on a blockchain, and if people in Europe start playing it, that's it. That's an international economy, and it doesn't have to go through any kind of international banking. It doesn't have to go through any kind of currency conversion. It really, really opens up the market and flattens the world when it comes to artistic and intellectual property type endeavors. So I think it's going to be incredibly transformational for the world economy, and I'm really excited about it. And I really started Pylons to try to make it happen, as effectively as I could. I believe in making these tools available to artists, to creators as easily as possible. I built this blockchain that, is free to use. It doesn't charge gas fees. I built this wallet that is really, really easy to use. I built a mobile SDK that gets people, you can start building games on this system really easily. And I did all this stuff because I'm really convinced that by making the power of blockchain accessible to normal artists, regular mobile developers, regular people, we will see economic freedom happen. The story of blockchain has been this story of, we're going to see economic freedom, but it has been the reality of people who bought Bitcoin early did really well, and nobody else really gets to be part of the experience. But when it comes to digital art, when it comes to creative property, it's not all created at once, by some group of insiders. Anybody can continue to come and create art and make it accessible to the world using blockchain technology and get paid for it and get attention and succeed and and become a star. And that sort of ongoing availability of the system to new users is really what inspired me to start Pylons, and what drives us as a team to keep building this, to really make something in the blockchain space that really is trying to democratize the economy, really is trying to bring in new creators, create new kinds of experiences, and not make people have to buy a whole bunch of Ethereum just to get started, right? Not make people have to pay a lot of money up front to get in, but just say hey, show up, bring your art, design your game, put your book on this chain, push it out to people. You can start getting paid. You can start giving out little stickers. You can start, generating your digital property and your art and your game items and all of your things, whatever you think of, and make things, get people to like it, and you'll succeed, right? You can generate the value by creating good experiences, by getting people interested in using it. You can create value with your own effort and creativity at any time, and you don't need to buy in with money. And to me, that's what's so special. That's what's so special about NFTs. That's what is so appealing about what this can be, is that you don't need to buy in with money to create art and put it on a blockchain. You can just create art and you can just put it on a blockchain. And then you are able to really reach the whole world without needing to go through the marketing channels, the sales channels, the payment channels, the shipping channels, all of that stuff. Instead, the blockchain, this global system, reliable data system that has nothing to do with any government, can handle the distribution and the payment and the creation and transfer of these things natively. So I really believe that what we're going to see over the next 5 years in the world of art and culture on chain is going to be completely transformative, because by bringing easy to use, really powerful, really inexpensive tools that are just internationally on everywhere all the time to the creative people of the world, they will be able to escape the systems that have sort of kept them trying to kept them making money for gallery owners and making money for art promoters, and it will let them start making money for themselves. And that inspires me. That's what I built Pylons to try to help power. That's why we have this team, and that's why we're building this project. So yeah, I hope that you all get interested in the space, think about digital art, and think about digital games and digital property and intellectual property on chain, because I think there's a lot of experience, there's a lot of value to create, a lot of experiences to build, and there's a lot of freedom there to really do whatever you want and really not have to pay a gatekeeper to do it. And I think it's going to be amazing. If you're interested in checking out Pylons, our system is available. You can check out our website at pylons.tech and see what we do. We try to make this stuff easy for you, but check out all the tools out there. It really is the next platform for art and fashion and creative, selling creative things in the world. So I'm excited. I hope you're all excited. I'd love to see what you build. And yeah, thank you for watching. My name is Micheal Soafer, CEO and founder of Pylons, and everyone, thanks, and have a great rest of your day.